Hey there, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're diving into a story inspired by the timeless 1953 American rom-com, Roman Holiday. Meet Princess Anne, played by the iconic Audrey Hepburn, a young, elegant European royal. She's dazzling on the outside, but inside, she's exhausted and suffocated by the rigid royal life. Tired of endless etiquette and relentless public duties, what she truly craves is a life that's real and free. In her brief Roman adventure, Anne's childlike curiosity and yearning for an ordinary life shine through. Her warmth, her loneliness, and her longing for genuine connection make her unforgettable. Her heart wrestles between personal freedom and royal duty. In the end, after tasting a moment of freedom, she returns to her responsibilities, carrying a bittersweet sense of growth and a touch of regret. This story is about a princess, Lila, trapped by palace life, who dares to escape her cage to chase her own freedom and truth. Ready? Let's step into this heartfelt, captivating tale and follow Princess Lila's romantic adventure. Morning light filters like a soft veil through the narrow tower window, spilling across Lila Veylan's desk, catching the blue sapphire in her family crest, which glimmers with hidden secrets. The study's stone walls rise high, moss creeping over them, the air thick with damp and age. Lila, in a flowing white robe, her hair cascading like a waterfall, feels a breeze carrying whispers of the golden plains outside. She gazes out, the vast fields shimmering in the morning mist, sheep dotting the landscape, a shepherd's flute faintly calling. Her fingers brush the cold window frame, and she murmurs, "What's the world out there really like?" Her eyes fall to the crest, its sapphire a symbol of family pride, and her chains. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, fighting the restless ache in her chest. Every day feels like a copy of the last. She whispers, "I'm a canary in a gilded cage, no sky to soar in." The banquet hall glows with golden light, its arched ceiling painted with stars and myths, chandeliers casting warmth over nobles in lavish attire. Musicians draw melodies from their strings, mingling with the clink of wine glasses. Lila, in a deep crimson gown, its skirts blooming like petals, holds an amber glass of wine, standing at the crowd's center, her smile polished but hollow. Nobles swirl around her, their smiles bright, their words empty as air. A portly earl raises his glass, booming, "Miss Lila, you're the jewel of this feast. Your thoughts on our harvest celebration?" She nods, twirling her glass, and replies softly, "Everything's perfectly in order, as always." Her voice is gentle, flawless, but cold. The wine ripples in her glass as she scans the room, nobles laughing, their eyes calculating. She lowers her gaze, her skirt brushing the marble floor, and whispers, "When can I live as me, not their shadow?" Midnight cloaks the tower study in silence, candlelight flickering, casting long shadows. Lila sheds her finery, slipping into a gray travel cloak, its rough fabric hugging her frame, a leather belt cinched at her waist, a small dagger in hand. At the window, her sheer nightgown sways in the breeze, moonlight painting her face with resolve and doubt. Outside, the night air carries the scent of pine, village lights twinkling like stars. She pushes the window open, cold air rushing in, her hair whipping wildly. She murmurs, "This is my only shot." Glancing back, the velvet bed curtains glow faintly red, ancestral portraits in gold frames staring coldly, the crest lying still on the desk. She climbs onto the sill, sliding down the vines, their leaves trembling under her grip. Her feet hit the ground, and she looks back at the tower, whispering, "Goodbye, my cage." The night is inky black, a forest path winding under moonlight, pine needles crunching softly underfoot. Lila pulls her cloak tight, her hair dancing in the wind, the air alive with earth and grass. Clutching a wooden staff, she probes the path, owls hooting, branches rustling. Village lights glimmer like stars, guiding her way. She pauses, gazing at the starry sky, and whispers, "I've finally taken my first step." The uneven trail jars her feet, stones biting her soles, but she doesn't care. Each step feels lighter, as if invisible shackles are falling away. The morning market buzzes with life, wooden stalls overflowing with apples, honey, and rough-spun cloth, the air rich with the scent of fresh bread and spices. Lila blends into the crowd, her hood shadowing half her face, her eyes drawn to a vibrant orange. Hesitating, she reaches for it, but a small girl darts in, snatching the fruit and vanishing into the alleys. Lila blinks, then chases after her, her steps echoing on cobblestones, weaving past flower vendors and cart pushers. The girl slips into a narrow lane, Lila hot on her heels, panting. Wait! At the alley's end, the girl stops, flashing a sly grin, peeling the orange, its juice dripping onto the stones, the scent bursting free. The alley opens to a stone bridge, a stream babbling below, morning mist curling over the water. The girl leads Lila beneath it, crouching to split the orange and share half with a scrawny boy. He devours it, juice streaking his face. Lila watches silently, her hand tightening under her cloak. She pulls a few copper coins from her belt, handing them to the girl, murmuring, "Take these." The girl takes them, offering a shy smile. Lila sits by the bridge's base, whispering, "I thought my life was hard, but my cage was gilded compared to theirs." The village barbershop is small and worn, its wooden door creaking, the air thick with herbs and leather. Rusty scissors hang on the wall, sunlight streaming through a cracked window, lighting Lila's face. She stands at the threshold, clutching her cloak, staring at her reflection, long hair trailing like a shadow of her past. An old barber hobbles over, rasping, "Just a trim, miss." She shakes her head, takes a deep breath, and says firmly, "No, cut it all off." He hesitates, then snips, the scissors flashing, her long locks falling like dark silk onto the floor. She closes her eyes, a faint smile forming, whispering, "This is me." Outside the barbershop, sunlight bathes the village street, kids laughing, chickens clucking. Lila steps out, her fingers brushing her short hair, savoring its unfamiliar lightness. She stops by a water barrel, peering at her reflection, her hair now sharp and breezy. A grin spreads across her face, blooming from her lips to her eyes. She whispers, "This is the real me, not the tower's puppet." A breeze slips through the window, ruffling her new short hair. Night falls, the inn's wooden walls glowing dimly, a crackling fireplace filling the air with piney warmth. Lila steps inside, shaking dew from her cloak, and settles in a corner. She orders an ale, her fingers tracing the rough clay mug. A figure catches her eye, Aidan's soul, in a brown robe, hunched over a map at a table, quill in hand. He glances up, spotting her, and says softly, "Nice haircut. Suits the road." She smiles, sipping her ale. Aidan walks over, sitting with a gust of air, and says, "I'm Aidan. I write stories, capture moments." "You?" She pauses, then looks up. "I'm Lila, just starting a journey." Morning light spills through the inn's wooden window, falling on a rough map spread across the table. Lila traces rivers and mountains with her finger, murmuring, "I want to see the world, but I don't know the way." Aidan, sipping tea across from her, points to a winding path, saying, "This leads to the border. Scenic, but tough." He pauses, meeting her eyes. "If you're up for it, I can guide you." Lila, her finger stops, she takes a breath, and extends her hand. "Deal." Aidan grips it, smiling. "It's settled, Lila." The tavern glows softly, candlelight dancing, 2 bowls of steaming soup and dark bread on the table. Aidan leans back, his voice low and rich, spinning tales of desert mirages, hidden mountain tribes, and a lone wolf singing under moonlight. Lila props her chin in her hands, eyes sparkling, murmuring, "The world's so vast. I never imagined." Aidan chuckles, tearing off a piece of bread and passing it to her. "The road teaches you more than any book." She takes a bite, the rough bread grounding her, and whispers, "I want to see it all for myself." The grasslands stretch endlessly, waves of wild grass swaying, distant mountains veiled in mist. Aidan rides a chestnut horse, reins taut, dust trailing behind. Lila follows on a gray mare, her cloak billowing, short hair whipping in the wind. She grips the reins, leaning forward, shouting, "Faster!" The wind roars in her ears, her laughter echoing across the plains. This is what freedom feels like. Hoofs splash through a stream, water sparkling in the sunlight, scattering rainbows. The riverbank is lush with green grass, the water clear and gurgling. Aidan ties the horses to a tree, while Lila kicks off her boots, her bare feet sinking into cool grass. She kneels by the river, scooping up water, its chill slipping through her fingers. Glancing at Aidan with a mischievous grin, she splashes him, laughing, "Dodge that." Water hits his face, and he laughs, splashing back. She squeals, dodging, whispering, "I've never been this happy." Night falls, a campfire crackling on the plains, its glow warming Lila and Aidan's faces. Aidan pulls dry bread and a wedge of cheese from his pack, handing them to Lila. She tears off a piece, the bread tough but sweet with wheat. She murmurs, "Simpler than a banquet, but so much realer." Aidan tosses a stick into the fire, flames leaping, and says, "Freedom's lonely. No one waits on you, but no one controls you either." She gazes at the starry sky, whispering, "I'd rather eat this bread than fake another smile with a wine glass." The wind stirs, their shadows stretching long, this moment simple and true. Dawn breaks, the grassland wind carrying unease, heavy hoofbeats thundering in the distance. Aidan stands on a rise, squinting at black-clad riders charging forward, their banners snapping in the wind, bearing the Veylan crest. Lila steps up, her face paling, whispering, "They're here." Aidan turns, "They're after you." Her smile fades, her hand clutching her cloak, fear and resolve flickering in her eyes. She murmurs, "I'm their pawn. They won't let me go." The hoofbeats grow louder, dust rising, the rider's armor glinting coldly in the morning light. Aidan pulls Lila onto his horse, hoofs pounding, the grasslands blurring past. The riders close in, their shouts cutting through the wind. "Halt, Miss Veylan." Lila glances back, their silhouettes looming like shadows in the dust. Her fists clench. "I'm not going back." Aidan snaps the reins, the horse surging forward, the wind roaring. They race toward a dip in the land, grass muffling their hoofbeats, her heart pounding with the wind, leaning against Aidan's back, no longer alone. Deep in the forest, ancient trees block the sun, light speckling the ground. Aidan reins in the horse, and they dive behind bushes. Lila leans against a tree, panting, sweat beading on her brow, her short hair clinging to her cheeks. The rider's hoofbeats fade in the distance. She whispers, "They haven't given up." Aidan crouches beside her. "Why are they after you?" She gives a bitter smile, staring at the dirt. "Because I won't be their puppet, their symbol." A breeze rustles the treetops, cooling her skin. Dusk settles, crumbling temple pillars rising from the forest, vines twisting around them, golden sunlight spilling through. Aidan leads Lila inside, their steps echoing on broken stone. He points to a carved wall, the legend of the Wind Followers, people who chased true freedom, believing the wind could carry away all chains. The carvings show running figures, their robes flowing, telling a story centuries old. Lila touches the rough stone, whispering, "What's true freedom?" Aidan replies, "Choosing your own path, no matter the cost." Deep in the temple, a stone monument stands, its surface etched with faded runes. Lila steps forward, her fingers grazing the cold stone. A warmth surges from it, flooding her chest, and she closes her eyes. A voice whispers in her mind, low and ancient, "Will you bear freedom's price?" Images flash, the tower, the gala, the chase, her severed hair. She murmurs, "I will." The warmth pulses through her, her heartbeat quickening, the wind swirling in the temple, echoing her resolve. Lila's eyes snap open. She stumbles back, gasping. Aidan steadies her. "You okay?" She shakes her head, her gaze steady. "I get it now. Freedom isn't just running, it's finding your own path." She looks to the sunset beyond the monument, whispering, "I'm not lost anymore." The wind carries a fresh scent, her short hair trembling. marking her awakening. A hidden town nestles at the mountain's base, wooden houses scattered, smoke curling from chimneys. Lila and Aidan, free from the chase for now, settle in a small shop. Lila picks up a needle, mending clothes for the shopkeeper, earning a few copper coins. She looks at them, murmuring, "My first earnings." The shopkeeper hands her a warm biscuit, its heat making her smile. Aidan, sitting nearby, asks, "How's independence feel?" She grins, "Better than I dreamed." At night, candlelight flickers in the small house, Lila rummaging through Aidan's pack for a water flask, finding an old journal instead. Its first page reads, "Aidan's soul, outcast of Soul Kingdom." She freezes, looking at him. "You're a prince?" Aidan sets down his firewood, giving a wry smile. I gave up the crown for the road." She pauses, then says softly, "We're alike. You chose freedom and lost everything." He nods. Freedom's price is sometimes loneliness. Deep in the night, shouts pierce the town, flames leaping into the sky. The riders have found them, charging through the streets, torches blazing. Lila and Aidan bolt from the house. She grabs a stick, crouching in an alley, whispering, "We need to distract them." She hurls the stick, striking a horse, sending it rearing, the rider's formation crumbling. Aidan pulls her toward the river. She glances back at the chaos, murmuring, "I won't let them destroy this place." Morning light sways the town's wooden sign. Aidan stands by the road, saying softly, "Lila, you can come with me, but it means no turning back." His eyes search hers. She looks down, clutching her cloak, memories of the tower and grasslands flashing by. She lifts her gaze, her short hair catching the breeze. "I need time to think." Aidan nods, turning toward the horizon. Lila stands by a lake, its surface a mirror, reflecting her silhouette. Her short hair lifts in the wind. She crouches, staring at herself, whispering, "I escaped, but what am I running toward?" Ripples spread across the water. Her father's expectations, the family's honor, tugging at her heart like a thin thread. She closes her eyes, the wind whispering, "Freedom isn't just escape, it's choice." Lila catches up to Aidan. He's standing under an old tree, his back to her. She steps forward, takes a deep breath, and says firmly, "I'm not going back. I'm finding the real me." Aidan turns, a spark of pride in his eyes, smiling. "Then let's go, Lila." She nods, the wind carrying distant scents, their shadows stretching in the morning light. The borderlands stretch wide, sand and grass mingling, distant mountains like sleeping giants. Lila and Aidan walk side by side, hooves leaving faint prints in the earth. She looks to the horizon, whispering, "Is this freedom's end?" Aidan shakes his head. "No, it's a new beginning." A calm settles over her, her short hair swaying in the breeze. They climb a mountain crest, the wind howling, the land below a tapestry of rivers and forests, villages twinkling like stars. Lila stands at the cliff's edge, reaching out, the wind grazing her fingers. "I'm finally free." Her voice carries on the breeze, a declaration to the world. Aidan stands beside her. "Freedom is what you choose." She nods, her short hair dancing wildly. She glances back at her homeland, the tower's shadow lost in the haze. She whispers, "Goodbye, my past." The wind cools her skin, her short hair fluttering, the world's gentle reply. She closes her eyes, breathes deeply, then opens them, her gaze steady on the horizon. In this moment, she leaves behind her cage, her doubts, and her past. Lila and Aidan walk toward the unknown, their shadows stretching in the golden sunset. The wind murmurs, hoofbeats fading, their figures blending into the distant horizon. She says softly, "This is where my real story begins." The wind echoes across the plains, blessing her journey. Her short hair dances in the breeze, each step steady and sure. On this day, she becomes herself. Her cropped locks, a symbol of freedom, the wind sweeps across the earth, carrying away her past, ushering in a future full of hope. If you love the story, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. We'll catch you in the next video.